Not every plan goes according to plan. Sometimes the deck is stacked against you, and despite all the planning and hoping for the best, the thing that can go wrong does. This is the story of our first ever getaway at Universal Orlando. 3 days, 2 nights, 2 separate special events, 1 busted ankle, and a whole lot of rain. It was a trip of firsts for us, and it all started at Lowe's Sapphire Falls Hotel. Sapphire Falls is a mid-range hotel located at the Universal Orlando Resort that offers quality amenities as well as a middle-of-the-road price point compared to some of the other hotels available in the Universal Orlando lineup. But the reason we chose this hotel for our weekend getaway was proximity to the parks. Sapphire Falls not only has bus transportation available to guests, it also has a water taxi and is walking distance from both City Walk, granting you easy access to both Islands of Adventure and Universal Orlando, as well as Volcano Bay. Sapphire Falls also offers a variety of other amenities as well, to include the largest pool of all the Universal Orlando hotels, complete with 2 pool bars, one that serves food, sandy beaches to soak up the sun on lounge chairs, cabanas available for rent, and lawn games. The hotel also has a pretty good sized fitness center, arcade, and multiple dining options from table service to grab and go. And since it was around lunchtime, we figured we'd give the New Dutch Trading Co. a go. So for lunch today, we grabbed a hot sandwich from the New Dutch Trading Company. This was the chicken and artichoke with sun-dried tomatoes hot sandwich. I have to say, it was a little dry, but that really only applied to the chicken itself. The sandwich had some pretty good flavor. The bread was like the perfect consistency for me. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the only thing was the chicken was just a little dry. But otherwise it was fine. Like if you're just grabbing and going, not bad.
Yeah, I mean, and it was really nice to have a hot meal. This cost us $27.70, but we also got a tea and a Dubai chocolate macaron, which I am looking forward to giving a try right now. So, I mean, let's dig in. I feel like the only real way to do this is to just take a bite. So we're going for it. I mean, that's pretty good. It is a little crumbly, but sometimes macarons are. We've got some chocolate. I think we have the pistachio filling in here too. Let me see if I can get to that. Yeah, there it is. Can you see it? Let's take a taste of that. It should be like a really great texture, so. That's really good.
That was better than the chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
It's actually really good. Just good chocolate. I'm not complaining.
Okay, so I feel kind of like $27 a little bit overpriced for this meal. I would have liked it to be a little bit better. You know, the macaron was delicious because it was sweet, and I love sweet things, but it wasn't the best quality. The sandwich was delicious, but also the chicken was pretty dry. But at the same time, $27 isn't too bad when you consider how much food we got. We were both able to share, and this is a hotel, and oftentimes you're paying an upcharge for eating at a place in the hotel lobby, which is exactly what we did today. We easily could have taken a boat over to City Walk and gotten something over there. We could have even walked, or we could have gone to the parks and eaten there as well. But I mean, in terms of convenience for what we got, I really can't complain, though I do wish it was a little bit better. After wrapping up our lunch and spending some time just chilling by the pool, we got a text from the hotel saying our room was ready, so we made our way up. It's around 2:40 now. We've made our way into the room. We're staying in guest house 3. We're on the 8th floor. I think our room number is like 3868, something like that. We did get in early, which is great. Check-in for this hotel is 4, so I mean, a couple extra hours in the room is fantastic, especially because we have big plans tonight. More about that here in a second. First, let's talk a little bit about this room. So this is a 2-queen standard room here at Sapphire Falls. The cost for this was around $320 to $450-ish a night, depending on the night, of course. We're currently staying during the weekend, and it is Halloween Horror Nights, so the cost is a little bit higher, especially on Saturday night. With 2 queen beds, this room sleeps 4, and we also have some extra amenities, which are really nice. We got a good-sized closet, and we do have a mini fridge. And I gotta tell you, the thing that really stands out to me about this room, just like right off the bat is how clean it is. It's immaculate. Even some areas that usually look kind of worse for wear, the bathroom is a perfect example, they look almost brand new, which is such a pleasant surprise. We don't see that all that often. But yeah, so far it's a good looking room. We didn't pay for an upgraded view or anything like that, though we do have a nice view out of our really good sized window. It's not a huge room, but it's definitely not cramped. And we do have easy access to the parks via water taxi. There's a walking path, and that includes Volcano Bay as well. We can walk right over there too. We also have bus transportation. But anyway, we have some big plans for tonight, and those plans include making our way over to Volcano Bay. This is going to be our first time at this water park, and we're doing a special event, Volcano Bay Nights, which is like an after-hours event. I'm really excited about it because I hear that Volcano Bay is a great water park, but I also heard that Scooby-Doo and the crew are going to be there. Scooby-Doo and the gang? Definitely the gang, not the crew. I don't know. Anyway, I'm super stoked, so we're going to get ourselves situated and then make our way over. There are two ways we could get from Sapphire Falls to Volcano Bay, using Universal's free bus transportation or walking. We opted to walk, and we're really glad we did. The path is paved and fenced in, which we appreciated, as it runs along a busy roadway. It also took us under 10 minutes to get to Volcano Bay, even at a slower than usual pace, where we went through security screening and then entered the park. At 4 p.m., we could collect our wristbands and our Coke Freestyle refillable cups, which were included in the price of admission for this event, and then we were off to exploring the park until the event officially kicked off at 7. I gotta say, Volcano Bay is impressive, and I'm not just talking about the 200-foot volcano that serves as the park's icon. The number of attractions is unmatched. The theming is fantastic, and the park is, simply put, just really well thought out, arguably making it more family friendly than other water parks in the area. But we'll talk more about that some other time. We were here to experience Volcano Bay Nights, which we were hoping to do without getting caught up in any of the passing storms and or freezing, considering it was windy and in the mid-70s, which is brisk for those of us who live down here. Like I said, the event officially kicked off at 7 p.m., but we'd been here since 4, so it was time to grab a quick bite. We opted for a flatbread, which had pineapple, Spam, and barbecue sauce. This was okay. The flavor was there, and we both enjoyed it a lot. Though I personally could have gone for a bit more Spam, but the crust was very tough in some spots, which I attribute to us ordering when we did. Would we get it again? Yes, but in the future, I probably would have ordered a little bit earlier or waited a little longer. We also ordered a few other snacks, including the Witch's Demise cookie, which was an event exclusive, and the Watuti Fusion, which is a soft serve that everyone seems to be talking about, and after trying it, I totally know why. Simply put, it tastes like childhood, and we both can see ourselves getting this one again. The Witch's Demise cookie was also delicious, definitely fun and tasty. With food out of the way, it was time for some fun, so we made our way into the wave pool, where we listened to some music, danced, sang, and vibed out right along with everyone else. I gotta say, this event was pretty great. You get access to the water park, free drinks all night long with that Coke Freestyle cup, which you can use at Universal Orlando during future visits, and there were even free snacks, including these awesome churros with fantastic dipping sauce and pineapple coconut popcorn. And that's all before we talk about the music, dancers, and we also had Scooby and the gang dancing, meeting guests, and even solving a mystery. It really was a good time for guests of all ages, and an event that we're looking forward to doing again. There was only one way to kick off day 2 of our Universal Orlando getaway, and that was going to be with donuts and coffee. So we made the 15-minute walk over to City Walk so we could hit up Voodoo Donuts. We got some Halloween-themed donuts, as well as their Mango Tango, which Russ couldn't resist, and some coffee to wash it all down. Frankenstein was grape jelly, and Jason was filled with raspberry filling, both delicious, both very messy. The Mango Tango was also a filled donut and had a nice combination of tangy and sweet, but the coffee, sadly, left quite a bit to be desired. This is their nitro cold brew, mine with vanilla syrup. Russ got his with hazelnut. We both really like nitro cold brew. We both thought this was terrible. Despite paying around $5 each, we ended up tossing them because they just weren't drinkable, even with extra sweetener. Bands of Rain had us hightailing it back to the hotel, leftover donuts in hand, where we spent a couple hours resting up because we had a big night ahead of us. So there's no good way to say this. The rain that's been happening basically all day, well, it hasn't let up at all. And while we have umbrellas, that is not enough. Certainly not for our next little adventure, which is Halloween Horror Nights. So our plan is to make our way downstairs. We're going to buy some ponchos. I know, I just told you guys that we normally have ponchos with us, but not this time. So we're going to go buy some ponchos, and then it's going to be over to Universal Studios Florida, and we'll see how it goes. You know, we can make the most out of any time, right? So let's get out of here. Halloween Horror Nights is a separately ticketed event that happens annually at Universal Studios Florida. Since we have annual passes for Universal Orlando, we opted to arrive early and do what was in the past called Stay and Scream. Following the team members' instructions, we made our way over to a wristband distribution location to get checked in and pick up our wristbands. Then it was off to enjoy the festivities. Weather being what it was and having no idea how this would impact food booths, we decided to start there. On the top of Russ's list for the evening was Death by Cheese Stick, and I gotta say, it was a fantastic choice. This is a giant mozzarella stick, which I mean, what's not to love, but the breading was delicious, lots of flavor, and just a little bit of spice. Honestly, a great way to kick off HHN. Since it was still early, we spent some time wandering around the park, exploring the tribute store, and dodging rain until it was just a few minutes after Poncho o'clock, which was, as it turns out, only a few minutes ahead of ramen o'clock. You know, we'd heard about this ramen, and while it never really tickles my fancy to eat hot soup in a theme park, Russ was all over it, and I gotta say, another fantastic choice. I didn't expect much out of this ramen, but it is really, really good. What do you think?
I think it's absolutely phenomenal. As being a ramen guy, I am blown away by how good the broth actually is. Amazing soup.
Now this was the part of the evening when things started to get a little bit rough. We were creeping up on go time, and the rain was really putting the quality of these ponchos and our spirit to the test. So we did what any self-respecting people wrapped in $13 worth of plastic would do. We stalked our way over to the potato chip stand and got ourselves a snack. These chips are HHN's replacement for the fan favorite Twisted Tater, which is their version of my festival favorite offering known as the Tornado Potato. And they're very good, but I personally would prefer a Tornado Potato over this any day.
Can I just say, that, probably pretty smooth.
Thanks to the rain on this particular night, the event didn't kick off with a whole lot of fanfare. Yes, the houses were open, but the opening ceremony of sorts that I've heard a lot about didn't take place. So we decided to make our way over to the Wizarding World, which was empty. It really was so cool to experience the space this way. So we spent some time just soaking it all up until finally the rain stopped. And the second it all cleared up, the event started coming to life. Now look, explaining exactly what Halloween Horror Nights is to someone who's never experienced it before can be kinda tricky. I mean, there are some haunted houses themed to some of your favorite scary movies and television shows, but also some that are developed just for Halloween Horror Nights here at Universal. There are scare zones throughout the park, which are similar to haunted trails with themes and storylines. There are booths throughout the parks that offer food and drinks, most of which are themed as well. Then there's the shows. There's a lot to see, and it's at every turn. This is not the type of event that you need a well thought out plan for. Hell, you barely need a plan at all. The only plan we had was to show up before 5 p.m. No spreadsheets, no prior planning, no being stuck on our phones. We literally just showed up and managed to have a fun-filled night without even trying. And that right there isn't something we get the chance to say all that often. Well, our time here at Universal has come to a close.
I had a blast.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, we have to sit down with you guys and have like a full-on conversation about what our experience was so that we can share it with you, we can give you all the details and all of that. But just some final thoughts, some final quick thoughts before we move on about everything we did. So first, Sapphire Falls, our first experience at kind of a mid-range Universal Orlando hotel. I mean, part of me wants to say I'm pleasantly surprised, but I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. This is the experience that I expect for this price point. And not only that, but the experience that we've gotten from other places at this price point has lacked in such a way that I find myself pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I think this place actually delivered more than expected. It was very surprising and very enjoyable, and kind of taken back with some of my weird questions to some of the team members and hotel staff in the area. Just like with like free sunscreen.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, so I had some nuances and interactions that were just probably like odd questions for the staff, because I guess I just don't stay in places like this.
The amenities are such that it seems like you're going to be nickel and dimed for things like towels and little things of sunscreen and all of that.
Yeah.
And so when it is available to you, it's kind of funny because the staff are like, of course,
yeah,
you know?
You just take it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, okay.
Other things that are notable, this hotel operates like some other hotels do with a texting service. And they did text us throughout the entire trip, letting us know that they didn't do our daily housekeeping, letting us know that if we need anything, we could text them. Also, we can check out via text message as well. So that was fantastic, super convenient, and everything was right at your fingertips, which I really liked, because if we were out and about and we wanted something to be sent to our room, we could easily just send a text message.
Yeah.
So that was very convenient. Also, the location of this hotel is phenomenal. We could walk to everywhere outside of Epic Universe.
What more can you ask for?
Exactly. And we have other hotels right along the path. So access to other dining, and it's just a really great location overall, at least in my opinion. But again, we'll get more into that in a whole different discussion because there's so much more to say. But next up, we have Volcano Bay Nights. Now, this was something we just kind of decided to do. We were like, let's do it. Why not?
Legitimately saw a commercial.
Really? That's what it was?
That's all it was. I saw a commercial and I was like, we haven't done the H2O Afterglow, right? Is that what it's called? Afterglow?
No, it's not Afterglow. It's fun.
And we have annual passes for that, so like we can go whenever we want. But we don't have Volcano Bay added to this annual pass because I'm just not a big fan of like having to get on a bus to go to the water park. So when I saw a commercial for Volcano Bay Nights, I was like, this is our chance. Why not tack this on and add another night and we can see how it goes? Did not disappoint.
And when we went, it was the Halloween overlay. So it was kind of spooky. There was like Halloween music. It was still pop music.
Halloween Hawaiian music.
Yeah.
It was
but also
great.
other kinds of music. Anyway, the soundtrack was great.
It matters because Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween's soundtrack was off. It was just weird. It just messed with the vibe. So like it does matter.
Yeah, but I'm saying like anyway, we'll get more into that probably some other time as well.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. So I really enjoyed that. There were free snacks, which was great. And Volcano Bay, I have to say, is impressive.
I really enjoyed it. I think the theming was great, and not just for the party, but like the park overall. Like I understand, like we toed the line with like it's a theme park, it's a water park. It's a water park.
Yeah.
However, it is very well themed to what it is.
And there's a lot going on. Unfortunately, we didn't take advantage of too much of it because it was very cold.
For us, it was very cold.
Yeah.
And I will say, and anyone who's in the comments who's like, oh, you guys just lived down there, it would have been fine. There were people all around us freezing.
Yeah.
Everyone was cold. But it was cool, though. It was fun. It was a great night. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I will definitely go back.
Oh, for sure. I can't wait to experience Volcano Bay during a time when I can actually enjoy the water as opposed to being shivering. But the last thing on our list was Halloween Horror Nights, and I have to say, this was another event. A lot of people talk up and down about Halloween Horror Nights and how great it is.
Yeah.
Didn't disappoint, and that's high marks given that we had the deck stacked against us because it was wet. It rained really heavily. And we did miss out on things because of that rain, at least during like part of the night. Like the opening ceremony thing didn't happen. The stilt walkers were not out. So it wasn't even the full experience. And it was still pretty great.
I had a blast. And it seemed like everyone was having a really good time.
Yeah.
It was so good. Everything was just phenomenal. The shows were great. Everything was great.
Yeah, the food was great.
The food was phenomenal. I can't get over how good that ramen was.
He hasn't stopped talking about this ramen.
And the cheese stick.
The cheese stick, too. It's funny, we walked back, which was only like a 13 to 15 minute walk to the city walk area. Another like 5 minutes or whatever, depending on your pace, right? But he was talking about the cheese stick the whole time. And I have to be honest with you, if I could get another one right now, I would.
Yeah.
I'd get my own.
And the carrot cake.
Yeah, the carrot cake.
Everything we got was good. We got food that we wanted. And none of it disappointed. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was all very, very good. But again, we have so much more to talk to you about with Halloween Horror Nights as well. I also want to get into a little bit of that compared to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, because I know that that's a comparison that a lot of people draw. So we're going to talk about that. But for now, I think it's time for us to wrap up our stay.
Yeah, unfortunately. We have a really nice view.
We do have a nice view.
I've just been looking at it while we're recording.
Yeah. It's a nice one. And we can really appreciate it now because we can actually see out.
Yeah, I didn't realize you can actually see as what we can see.
Yeah,
how about that?
we can see out from
like, I knew we were facing a certain way, but no, this is cool.
But anyway, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We hope that you enjoyed this. I know that this wasn't our standard, like, vlog style. But this trip, honestly, was just for us to enjoy ourselves. And we still wanted to take you along and get some clips and tell you what our experience was like. But we did that in a slightly different way. And I hope you guys don't mind. I will say it probably would have been filmed like this anyway, given all the rain.
Yeah, but I will say, too, though, this doesn't, like, even though it's done in a different style, everything's still exactly the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our experiences are what our experiences are. And I will say, second to none. It was a phenomenal experience considering everything. The deck was, in fact, stacked against us pretty much this entire trip.
It really was.
You know? And I think it was great, and it just goes to show how good Universal actually is as a whole.
Yeah. Because this was our first, like, Universal trip. You know, where it was like we check in, we do things, and then we leave, as opposed to like dipping in and dipping out. You know, there were some high points and some low points, but at the end of it, the whole goal of doing this type of thing is leaving feeling fulfilled, and I think that we can definitely do that. But again, thanks for hanging out with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.
Yeah, thanks
Until
everybody.
then, bye.